Hey again, guys. So on my last video, I did a mega rare card showing. Not all rare, but a lot of them were from the 20s and 30s. And I was a little tired, and I have another box that I absolutely love to look through, just like that other box. And I should have shown it on that video, but I'm going to do a follow-up right now and show a bunch more cards from the 30s and 20s and teens. I'm going to start off with the 1930 Kellogg's Christie Mathewson. And this was Kellogg's first cards. I know they did some stamps. I think may have predated this. Can't remember the exact year, but this is their first card. And it was a multi-subject set. I think Christie Mathewson's the only baseball player in it. I have this great Rogers Hornsby. I've had that for many decades. These are very, very thin, and so I don't mind keeping it in here. I love the way it displays. Here's a Tris Speaker stamp. I have an Archie Vaughan too somewhere. Here's a Buck Weaver. You guys know I'm a giant Buck Weaver fan. Great set. And here's a 1914 Polo Grounds of Honus Wagner. I have two 1930 Warch Cigar cards. These are oversized and they're rare. I have Jimmy Fox there. And Carl Hubble. And I have this great Lou Gehrig. These are rare. I had a beautiful, mint condition Babe Ruth years ago. And I sold it. And man, do I regret it. I didn't know at the time how rare these were. They have the same images as the 1929 Cashin, but they're larger and more rare. And I'm actually not sure how they were distributed. Not sure if anybody knows. They must have been related to the Cashins in some way, I would imagine. And we have, let's see here. This is called the Shoulder Signature Series, these cards, because the signature goes over the shoulders. And these are the 1922 W572-2. Here's Tris Speaker. Ty Cobb. And this is Benny Koff, man. This is a Boston store. If you're not familiar with Benny Koff, you need to look him up and read up on him. Just a fascinating baseball story. Once I learned about him, I had to get a card of his. At one time, he was the top prospect in baseball. Got banned from baseball, so he had a very short career, but he was a fan favorite and would bring the crowds in. And this is Frank Schulte. Another Boston store. This is another Frank Schulte. Good ball player. And this is Billy Sullivan. And he was one of the top defensive catchers at the time. And this is Jimmy Austin. Another one of those players that was in Glory of Their Times, that book. Here's a what year is this? 27 York Caramel, Walter Johnson. These are pretty scarce too. Here's the Ty Cobb. Now, these cards are super rare. Many of you will have never seen these, and I mean, if you're looking for them, they're really hard to find. So this is a 1925 to 31 W590. Here's the Ty Cobb. Here's the Walter Johnson. And I got the Kenneth Williams. And I have a Yingling's Ice Cream, Grover Alexander. Now you have the Harringtons, the Yinglings, and the Tharps. The Tharps are the most rare, but they're all scarce. They're all scarce. Dave Blue Jacket 66 has all 3 Babe Ruths. It's probably maybe the only man on the planet that has all 3 of them. Here's a fantastic George Sisler. Hey Dave, while you're giving away your cards, how do I enter to get those? How do I enter to win those? And Eugene Hargraves. And while we're at it, how about that shoeless Joe Jackson you have? Here is a fantastic Roger Swornsby. And from the same set, Tony Lazzari. And these had a little game on the back, 1 bagger. I don't know, it's so small. Is that upside down? I can't see. Take some of the fun out of baseball cards. That's why I've moved. I like the oversized cards. All right, here's some more of the. These are National Game. Here's Home Run Baker. Huey Jennings. Or I'm sorry, Miller Huggins. Just a great looking baseball card. I have more of these. Where are they? All right. We have this set. These were little strip cards that were playing cards. Here's Jimmy Fox. Babe Ruth. I had a graded copy of this years and years ago. I never used to feel comfortable having cards that I could get a lot of money for, and I sold some good cards, and that was one of them, and I always regretted it, and I wanted to get it back, so I bought it back pretty quickly. Here's Lefty Grove. Cy Williams. And these are pretty cool cards. These are the 1921 ML die cuts. And this is Dazzy Vance. These are blank on the back. Here's a Freddie Lindstrom. I told you about him on my last video. And here's a Walter Johnson. Now we're going to look at some strip cards. Here's Babe Ruth. Ty Cobb. Tris Speaker. Grover Alexander. I just love this Zach Wheat card. Okay, guys. I had some technical difficulty and my last video kicked off on me. Apparently my storage was full and had to clean it out and so forth. So I finished off with the Zach Wheat, really cool looking strip card. Looks like he's a pitcher in this. So I'm going to try to pick up where I left off. Let me go through the rest of the strip cards. You know, I find beauty in cards others may not. The strip cards, you know, they didn't always get a lot of love. I think they get a lot more now. I know there's a Facebook group dedicated to strip cards. And, you know, they were issued mostly in the 1920s, maybe early 30s. But in the 1920s, you know, it was mostly black and white cards. So at least they're, you know, they're colorful. Here's a pie trainer. Beautiful Rogers Hornsby. George Gibson. Got Lloyd Weiner, Little Poison. And Big Poison, Paul Weiner. Here are some more game cards. Here, this is a 1913 Nap Ladjeway game. And these came in, I believe, 2 colors, blue and this color. These are, you know, easy to find in top grade, but it is nice to have a Gem Mint 10 from 1913. Here's a Shoeless Joe Jackson. These are routinely found in high grade as well. Here's a Cy Young. Easy to find 9s in these. I got this too because, I mean, for the money, I just can't figure out for the life of me why it's a 2. I saw a 7. I think it was a 7 or an 8 around the same time. This is looked better to me, this 2. I don't know. Here's a Chief Bender. I mean, it's a Shoeless Joe Jackson. Come on. Take it in just about any condition. I showed the Honus Wagner. Show it again. Trish Speaker. Just to be clear, if you're not familiar, these are the 1914 Polo Grounds games, and this is the 1913 national game. So, a little different, but similar. So here's Stuffy McGinnis, the first baseman on the $100,000 infield. And I have an Eddie Collins. And these are similar to the ice cream cards I showed earlier. Actually, I showed these, the W502s. I didn't show these. This is a Hack Wilson. And he doesn't have a lot of cards. I was thrilled to get this one. And Lloyd Weiner. And he held the rookie hits record for years until Ichiro came along and broke it. But of course, Ichiro was a 27-year-old rookie who had played in some form of Major League Ball for a long time first. And this is a 1925 Boguslavsky Limited. I can't pronounce it, but this is George Sisler. And the Churchman's here, 1929 Babe Ruth. And we have some unique things here. Here's a, what is this, a Z-Nut, Wilbur Cooper. Possibly the best pitcher the Pirates ever had. Here's a Dixie lid, Hoodsie, of Jimmy Fox. Oh, and here's my Archie Vaughan stamp. I guess I found it. And these were Rayo prints. And I have the whole set, but I have the non-baseball elsewhere. And there were 2 different versions of these that I've found over the years. And they had a little kit. And these were like developing, you know, similar to the 1948 Magic Photos. I guess you would wet them and they would develop as a photograph. Here's Babe Ruth. What year are these from? 1930, 31, 32. I forget the exact year, but early 30s. I have two different versions of the Lou Gehrig. You might notice a little bit of a difference, a little bit of a different border, different color. And they remade these in 1948. MP and Company, I guess, made them, and this is the Babe Ruth from then. Great image. I have some matchbooks. Here we have Lloyd Weiner, Melot. I believe these were from 34-ish. Hack Wilson. Chick Hafey. Red Lucas. I guess he was a bit of a ladies' man. Supposed to be a handsome dude. This is Tex Carlton. Roger Kramer. And I have a whole bunch more up there with Dizzy Dean and a bunch of other stars, but I have them in a display. I have these old stamps, 1939, the Centennial of Baseball. And here's Babe Ruth. And Honus Wagner. And I need to get to Ty Cobb to go with these two. I need the trifecta there. And Dave Blue Jacket 66 had sent me this, and I never saw one before. I forget the maker of it, but I did do a little research. I'm drawing a little bit of a blank, but I know it's from 1930. Just a generic baseball card. Sometimes those are nice to have in your collection rather than a specific player. Just a card that celebrates the game itself. And I have these two. These are rare. Really hard to find. They're 1939 Cincinnati Reds team issues. This is Harry Kraft, and I guess he was a really good defensive outfielder. And then Frank McCormick, a good first baseman. And I have this interesting thing, and I don't know what it is. I've seen a lot of debate on this over the years. You don't see too many of them. I don't know if this is a real card or not a real card. I've actually only ever seen a couple. One was a Lou Gehrig that was cut out. And I honestly don't know if this was a legitimate thing or if somebody tried to make these later on. I could say this. I have not seen these images before, I don't think. They're pretty unique. I tried to research this company, and I can't really find anything. But the backs look like this. They supposedly came from an arcade. They look like they came from an arcade, but I don't know the authenticity of them. Like I said, I've seen lots of debates on it. But anyway, this is Joe DiMaggio and Dizzy Dean. Could be a phenomenal old arcade card, or it could be one of those homemade jobs. I don't know. But I'm holding on to it till I find out. All right. How bad is it? My mom comes over and brings me this cup, Dairy Queen. It's MLB Dairy Queen with all the team emblems. Like I'm a 12-year-old. But the sad part is I'm happy to get it. Now, back in the day, Dairy Queen had they were giving away the mini helmets in Sundays. And there was one within walking distance. It was probably 2 miles from my house. And I would walk there all the time and get a hot fudge sundae and get a new helmet. And then I would go to my cousins in a totally different town, like 45 minutes away, and I would make them walk a couple miles to their Dairy Queen. When I stay with them in the summer, make them get Dairy Queen along with me so I could get their helmets and my helmet. And I managed to save every one of them. And they came with, you could go back and there was a cardboard display for them and you could buy that. I forget how much it was. And after I collected every single team's helmet that summer, I remember going back and buying that display. I was so excited to get it, go home, put it together. It was a cardboard, you folded it around and had little slots and it had the divisions and there was a place for like the leader of every division, and I put all the helmets in there. And I don't know why, but I cherish this, maybe because of all the hard work I put into it, into getting and collecting all those, and I had it in my room for years. Now, I'm sure when I became a teenager, went to high school, got into chicks and stuff like that, I'm sure I put it away somewhere, but I have no idea what ever happened to that. And I'm like really depressed that I don't have it. I probably had it in my parents' basement. They probably threw it away when they were moving, but I've looked for one to try to find it again and buy it, and I can't even find one. I mean, it was a big holder, big cardboard holder. So, you really had to be a fan to hold on to it all those years. And it's not like it was a baseball card that's going to have a lot of value. So I don't know if any of you remember that or any of you have it. If you come across one with all the helmets and everything, let me know. I'd love to get it again. I don't know where I'll put it, but I'll figure that out. Anyway, as always, I want to thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy what I'm showing you. I have lots more to show. I had said I was done buying cards until the National, but you know what? I already bought some new cards, so that didn't last too long. Rick from Vintage Oddball Cards sent me one that he thought I should get, a rare Ducky Medwick, and it started again. So I have a big box of different sets from the 1950s. I think I'm probably going to show next. All the non-top stuff, non-Bowman. There were a lot of food issues and dog food, potato chips, you name it. Some great cards, cakes, and cookies in the 1950s. So that's what I have for you. Thanks for watching.